Today is 4th of July. Every year, Americans celebrate our nation's independence with fireworks, parades, cookouts, and family gatherings. It's one of the most celebrated holidays in our country. But today, we want to ask a historical question, not a political one. Who was actually free on July 4th, 1776? This isn't about creating division. It's about understanding history. Because the better we understand our past, the better we understand our present. On July 4th, 1776, the Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence, announcing that the 13 colonies were separating from Great Britain. The declaration included one of the most famous statements in history. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Those words inspired generations around the world. But while those words were being written and celebrated, they did not apply equally to everyone living in America. An estimated 500,000 Black people were enslaved in the 13 colonies in 1776. That was about 20% of the entire colonial population. They weren't celebrating independence. They were working in cotton, rice, tobacco, and indigo fields, serving in homes, building roads and businesses, raising children who were also born into slavery. For them, July 4th looked like another day of forced labor. America had declared independence from Britain. Black Americans were still waiting for their own freedom. One of the biggest misconceptions is that slavery ended all at once. It didn't. Freedom came in stages. 1776, America declared independence. Slavery remained legal. January 1st, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. This declared enslaved people in Confederate-controlled states to be free. However, it did not immediately free every enslaved person. Its practical effect depended on Union military control, and slavery remained legal in some states that stayed in the Union. June 19, 1865, Union troops arrived in Texas and announced that enslaved people there were free. Today, we know that day is Juneteenth. For many families, this became the true celebration of freedom. December 6, 1865, the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution was ratified. This officially abolished slavery throughout the United States, except as punishment for a crime. That was the legal end of slavery nationwide. Even after slavery ended, equality did not arrive immediately. Black Americans still faced segregation, disenfranchisement, Jim Crow laws, racial violence, and unequal access to education, housing, and voting. History shows that legal freedom and equal opportunity are not always the same thing. That is why later milestones such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 became so significant. When you hear people celebrate Independence Day, do you think most Americans know this timeline? Do we really understand that different groups experience freedom at different times? We're not sharing this history to diminish the 4th of July. We're sharing it to tell the fuller story of America. America's founding ideals inspired millions, but the nation's journey toward living up to those ideals has been long and unfinished. Understanding both the triumphs and the struggles gives us a more complete picture of our country's history. As we celebrate today, let's also remember those who waited nearly 89 years after 1776, before slavery was abolished nationwide. History matters because it reminds us how far we've come and how important it is to preserve both truth and liberty for future generations. The Bible teaches that truth matters. As Jesus said in John 8:32, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." Understanding history honestly is one way we pursue truth.